Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Tara and I make videos about digital planning and getting creative with your iPad. So if that sounds like something that's of interest to you, feel free to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell to be notified whenever I post new videos. For today's video, I'm going to be doing my monthly setup for the month of July. And so as per usual with the monthly videos, I always like to start off by just briefly flipping through all of my release sticker sets for the month of July. I do go more in depth about these different palettes and my decision-making process in a previous video, which I will link right here in the corner. But as per usual, I always come up with at least 3 different color palettes. So the first color palette is this beautiful one, which I feel is very bubblegum inspired. And the theme for all of these is like ice cream and popsicles. So just kind of staying cool in the summer. And I personally really love these. And then I made sure to incorporate some things that would also work really well for the 4th of July. So we do have some fireworks and some stars and some stripes. This is definitely the brightest color palette of them all. And it's also one of my favorites. Here's our next color palette, which I just could not come up with a name for, but I do really love these colors together. I think they're really pretty. I can always tell when I love certain colors together when I take a look at, like, for example, these polka dot washies. I feel like this just helps me get a good understanding of whether or not I'm gonna like these colors together. And I do really like these. These colors are definitely a bit non-traditional when it comes to ice cream and popsicles, but they do have this lovely shade that is perfect for the cones that I just absolutely adore. And I do really love this swimwear and flip-flop set in this palette. I think it's super adorable. And then this is another one that I just absolutely love. So this is the 3rd one that I released, and I just really love the pinks in here, and I just love these colors. I feel like the camera doesn't ever fully do these justice, but these pinks I think look really nice together. And this yellow, I described it as like a honeycomb yellow. I'm in love with it. It's just this perfect golden color, and I feel like it just looks so yummy. I don't know. And then there's this chocolate color too, which I'm also in love with. And then of course, yes, we have the rest of our themed ones here. Beautiful. So then I did opt to do a bonus palette this month because it is July, and I know so many people wanted their patriotic stickers for the month, and so I did create a palette for that. So I wanted to keep it still bright and fun for just being middle of summer. I didn't want to go too dark and moody, and so I personally really do enjoy these colors. I like the different shades of blue. I think they look really nice together. Like this, it's so pretty, right? But I do think these are a lot of fun together, and I do also love this swimwear set. I think this is really cute too. And naturally, it's more perfect for 4th of July, and so this is the color palette that I am going to use for today's video. I figure my monthly layout is good to use with this patriotic look, and then I'll definitely use the more colorful ones for my weekly and daily setups. So again, if you want to see those future videos, make sure that you ring that notification bell so you can be notified when I release those. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the planning part of this video. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is just take a look at this, and I'm pretty positive that I don't want this yellow around. It doesn't really go with my colors, so I am going to cover this up and change this. And I kind of want to do a created pattern for the background here. Before I cover this up, I'm going to use this yellow as a guide to help me create the shape that I want. And you'll see what I mean in just a minute if you haven't watched these videos before. And then I am going to fully cover up this side, and I'm going to completely create my own thing. So why don't we start with the heading first? So what I want to do is I'm just going to zoom in right here, and I'm going to come to my sticker pack, and I'm just going to grab my image tool here, tap on the word July. I'm going to copy this, come back to my planner, and paste this. And I want it center, and I think about this size is good. Now, I also know that I want to kind of create like an ice cream pattern. So what I'm going to do is just grab my lasso tool and make sure that images are turned on. And I'm just going to select all of my little ice cream cones and popsicles. And we are just going to copy these, come back, we're going to paste them. And I'm just gonna kind of start to resize them and place them around. And mostly I'm just rearranging these until I feel like the spacing and the orientation of all of these is varied enough. I'm just making sure I don't have too many of the same items or colors directly next to each other. And so I'm going to leave these here just for a second until I complete this so I can decide whether or not there's anything else that I want to do. So for those of you who have watched my videos before, you already know this little trick and you probably have an element saved, but I'm just going to take a second this time and explain it for anyone that's new. So basically what I typically do in my videos is I will come to my lasso tool. So basically I just zoom in on an area that is the same color as the background, and I make sure that it has no text, images, or handwriting on it. And then I just draw a rough shape and I tap. And then the only option you should be given is to take a screenshot. So you'll take a screenshot and then you'll just get this background color square that shows up. It's a bit hard to see on camera, but it's there. Ooh, we're having some focusing issues. All right, so in the upper corner, what you'll see is a little box for sharing and exporting. And then you're just going to copy the image. And then you can just paste it. And what I always recommend doing is just tapping on this and adding it as an element and then saving it to your elements so you can add this in all future months and it's always going to be a color that matches your background. So it's a very convenient option to have. Now for everyone else who's been watching my videos for a long time and already has these saved, you can go ahead and just resize this to fill that space. And once you know you've got the size that you like it, I'm just going to move it down for a second. I'm going to grab my lasso tool again, and I'm just going to carefully select only the elements that I created that I wanted in that heading. And we're just going to cut them. Now the reason we're doing that is because this piece would have been layered on top and we wouldn't have been able to see anything. So now I'm just going to move it up with my lasso tool and cover it up. And then I'm going to paste these pieces back on. Now in the past, I've shown a hack where we can take that same element that we were just using. And you can grab your image tool and tap on it, and this gives you the freedom to adjust it using these arrows. And then basically what I've done is I've kind of blocked off the edges. And if you're starting to feel like it's like blocked and you can't make it any smaller, the trick is to just zoom in further and then it lets you. So you can make it smaller and kind of line it up here. And then it will kind of create like a pretend cropped edge there. And then you can just repeat that on all of the sides if you'd like. Another option to create a sort of faux cropped border there would be to use your handwriting tool. You can basically use your pen tool in the same color as the background. So if you want to know what your background color is and you don't have my planner, you can take a screenshot and then you can open up the screenshot. You can come to this little circle here. It's a white circle with a rainbow around it. Tap on that and then you can grab this little eyedropper tool and you can drag it to anywhere where your background color is, and it's going to give you that background color. Now, in order to make it perfect, you're going to want to change it from display P3 hex color to the sRGB color, because that's what Goodnotes is in. So your Apple screen is in P3, and then your Goodnotes is in this RGB color palette. So in order for your pen color to match, you'll have to switch this over. Now, if I'm picking a different color, that will change, but for white, it won't. So for example, I'm going to grab this eyedropper tool and I'll come to this red. And in P3, it is DA4344. But if I change it, you can see now it's in ED3036. So this is just my point. With the white, it doesn't make a difference. We know our white is F8, F8, F8. But that's just something that you're going to want to watch for so that your color actually matches perfectly when you add the pen tool in. All right, so now we don't need this anymore. We're just going to go ahead and hit the garbage can and hit delete screenshot. And I'm going to come to my pen tool. And I already have my 4 colors programmed here, so I'm going to put these up in the corner and you can add them in as well. But we can add another one and we can just do that F8, F8, F8. And I'm just adding it to my presets. Okay, so now we have this up here. So this would be your other option. If it helps you to see, you can do this in any color, change the thickness of your brush, and you can draw out the shape. It doesn't have to be perfect. As long as you hold it, it's going to snap. So then we can grab our shape tool and you can tap on this and it allows you to adjust. And you can just kind of get this how you want. And make sure that you have no colors kind of peeking off the edge. And then what you can do is come to your lasso tool, grab handwriting only. We're going to grab in the center here and we are just going to delete that. So of course, if you want a color, you can leave a color. And I'm kind of tempted, I might. Or you can just select any part of this rectangle, tap on it, tap color. And then we can change it to that background white. And now, if you zoom in, you can see it has just automatically kind of created this pretend crop where it's just cropped off the edges. And you'll find here, for example, where the little stem of the cherry was still there. So you have 2 options in this situation, and that is to use your pen tool to just kind of cover it up. Alternatively, you can grab your image tool, tap on this, and then you can crop it. And you can just you can use freehand and you can just draw it out, or you can use the rectangle tool and just cut off part of it. And it always shifts just a little bit. So I like to come back down to my image tool and just bring it down a little bit. And you might find you want to resize it too. But you can just go around and check and make sure you have no other little issues like that. I think I do maybe want to keep this color as like that blue. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to come to my lasso tool and I'm going to turn on images and text boxes. I'm just going to select all of these and I'm going to tap and delete. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come here to my sticker set and I hope I don't regret this. So I am going to grab this blue, which is the same color as the box. I'm going to come back to my planner. And I'm going to paste somewhere that I don't have a link. Grab my image tool. And we're just going to resize this. And I am just going to kind of match this up and just duplicate it a few times. So I'm going to copy it at that size and paste it. And paste it again. And paste it one more time. But this time I'm going to grab my image tool. I'm going to tap on this one and I'm going to crop it. And I'm going to come to my rectangle and we are just going to bring this in. Let's just try 2 for now. Bring this edge back over. Okay, and I think we're going to need a 3rd one. So I'm just going to crop this in a little again. Done. All right, and that is perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come to my image tool and I'm going to tap on this white block that was underneath here and I'm just going to make this larger so that it covers up the colors where I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and just going to make sure that none of that shows through. Perfect. So now before I go in and do any finishing touches here, I'm just going to take my lasso tool and I'm just going to grab these images here. And we're just going to pull them down, I think to about here, especially because the 1st of the month is on a Saturday. I want to bring this down and make it kind of fill more space. So I'm just going to put that there. And then I'm going to come to an element that I created last month in my color changing folder. And that is this. And basically, I created this so that I could replace any part of my calendar if I wanted to. So we're just going to come in here and line this up here quite nicely. I'm just going to check both edges here. And then I'm just going to turn on handwriting only. And I'm going to select this box. And we are going to change the color to the blue that we were just working with. And then I'm going to turn on text boxes only. I'm going to select this. And we're going to change this color to white. And now I can come in here and turn on images. And I can just kind of adjust this and make sure everything fits nicely and perfectly together. And I can just sort of touch up any of these areas that I want to make them look like they join together a little bit better. I actually think I'm just going to grab my text boxes only really quickly, and I just want to grab this lettering and just bring it down just a hair. And that was really the most involved piece of all of this, so it's definitely going to get a lot simpler going forward. So let's go ahead and just grab our sticker pack, and let's come to our dates. And I think that I want to use only the red and this really pretty light blue. Basically what I can try to do here is just come over to the edge and see if I can skip around that sort of grayish color. And we'll tap on here and we're going to tap copy. Come back to the planner and paste, and let's see how we did. Woo! Perfect! Okay. Now, this is the part where everything goes crooked and I get really frustrated. So I like to zoom in as far as I can. And then just pull straight out. So you have to basically remain at a 45-degree angle. And I'm just going to zoom out just a little bit further. And I just take my time here because this really, really does frustrate me when it goes crooked, because then you have to either start over or just let all of them be slightly crooked. So once I get to a certain point, I might just tap off of it. So tap anywhere onto this, and this sort of gives you a reset point. So it's sort of like saving your game, where going forward, if I make a mistake and I have to undo it, it's only going to undo it to here. So that's just a little tip if you're somebody that gets as frustrated with the images going crooked all the time in Goodnotes, while still wanting to keep everything together. So let's just take a look and see if these cover. And it looks like they cover all of them, so I think I'm okay with keeping them kind of small. And basically, we're just going to grab all of the odd numbers in red. And I don't know if this is any faster, but it sort of feels like it to me, so I don't know. I like to do it this way. We're going to delete the even numbers. And let's grab the even numbers for our little turquoise shade. Bring these here, and we're just going to delete the rest. And then I'll just speed through this as I alternate these and put them in place. All right, so now we finished that, so let's come back and decorate for the 4th. So I want to take these fireworks. So I'm not sure which ones I want to use, but I know I want the fireworks and the birthday cake. So we're going to see how I can make that work. So I'm copying those and coming back here, and I'm just going to paste them over here in an area that doesn't have any other images, just so that we don't have any problems with Goodnotes and its weird glitches. So let's see. Let's try these ones. I think I might make this a little bit bigger, and probably also make this one bigger. And you can choose to either have them go over the edges of the date, or you can crop them. So you can grab your image tool, tap on the image, crop it, and then I can see it needs to come kind of right here. And just hit done, and then you can just line up the corner. And it obviously got a lot bigger there, so we'll just size it down and then just place it kind of snugly into the corner here. which is so cute. Just kind of looks like it's been cut off and that it's like part of it. And I'm going to tap on this image and do the same. Now I'm just going to grab this cake and I'm just going to bring it over here. I wonder what it looks like if I make it bigger and kind of like in the center. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to leave it as. I think it looks kind of nice having the fireworks going behind it. So I am just going to cut it really quickly and paste it on top. Okay, I think that's cute. And then I also know that my family is doing a little boating trip on the 5th. So I'm just going to come back here and grab my little swimwear. I'm going to paste them. And I don't know, I think just the bathing suit's enough. So we're just going to resize that and kind of angle it. I don't know, maybe I'll do the flip-flops too. Okay, and I'm going to delete these ones. Okay, and now to just finish things off, we're going to do this edge over here. So I am going to grab my element that is the same color as the background that we made at the beginning of this video. I'm going to grab my image tool, and we are just going to fit this in the center here and cover up this whole edge. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I want to have 2 sets of sort of goals for brainstorming this month. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this blue ombre and I'm going to paste it. I'm going to grab my image tool. We're just going to adjust the edges. And then I'm going to grab this background color element and I'm just going to copy this and paste this on top now and grab my image tool again, and we're just going to freely shape this, and I'm just going to kind of divide this section here, and I am going to come back to my washi tape, and I think I'm going to grab this red and white one here, and we're going to paste it. Stick that one here. Actually, I think I want this striped one, so I'm going to copy this. And we're going to paste this. Okay, that I actually really like. So I think in order to make these kind of go together, I am just going to delete this one, and I'm going to come back to my planner, and I'm either going to grab one of these stripes or polka dots or just another one of these colors. So I think let's go ahead and go with these polka dots. I'm just going to bring this over here, and I kind of have them angled slightly opposite of each other. I'm going to come back to my planner, and I'm just going to grab these 2 gray stars. I'm just going to paste these. And let's see, I think I'm okay with them being kind of small. And so I'm just going to paste these again. And I'm going to take my pen and I'm just going to draw a straight line. And I'm going to start to just kind of line these up using that line as a guide. Okay, and now I'm just going to select these and I'm just going to copy them. But I'm going to bring these over here. Just going to paste these and bring these ones over here as well. And I'm going to tap on my eraser, make sure stroke eraser is on, and just delete that. Now I might not use all of these, but at least I have the space for all of the brainstorming. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my pen tool. I'm going to start with this blue color, and I'm going to turn on my brush pen. And I am just going to write the word, let's see how big this is. Okay, it's too big. So let's come to our medium-sized pen, which I have at 0.45 millimeters. And let's just write the word life. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to write art. So a lot of you might know after my recent announcement that I'm about to go spend a month in Belgium. Here I'm just grabbing my lasso tool, turning on handwriting only. I'm gonna move this over. And that's very exciting. But since I'm going to be gone for a month, I have a lot of things personally to accomplish in the first couple weeks of July. And then I'm going to spend the next couple weeks of July and obviously August as well, focusing on, yes, travel and enjoying myself, but also getting a lot of my art projects completed. So I just want to have like a separate place for me to organize those thoughts and goals. And so I wrote these in here, and now what I'm going to do is, with my handwriting only selected on my lasso tool, I'm just going to adjust the location of these until I'm really happy. And then I'm just going to select both life and art, and I'm going to tap and copy. We are going to paste them again, and we're just going to tap and change the color to white, and then we can kind of just move this so it's got a little drop shadow, and it should be quite easy to read. Now I'm looking at this and I'm sort of wondering, I know it's hard to tell with me being zoomed out, but I'm sort of wondering if it might be easier to read with red underneath. So before I move this, I'm just gonna move these over here and just remember where they're at. And I am going to select this handwriting here, and I'm going to change the color to my red for the month. And now we're going to lasso life and art, which I put here, and just see if that's any better. I feel like it is a little bit easier to see. I don't know. I think I like that though, so I'm going to leave it in the red. And now one last thing that I'm going to do is I have some money savings slash like additional earnings goals for the next couple weeks until I leave for Belgium. And so I went ahead and I took this icon that I created for my budget planner and I saved it to my sticker set. So it is this little piggy right here, and I will leave this as a download link for anyone who wants this sticker for any of their own personal savings goals. So basically I'm just going to take this and I am going to resize it up here in the corner. And I'm just going to use my pen tool. And I'm going to come back to my ball pen, and let's just say I'm trying to earn about $1,600 extra just to give me a nice little cushion while I'm away. And then obviously this is going to be 0. So there's 10. So that means each of these is 10% of the way to the goal. So if you want, you can write in the numbers. And as I earn the extra cash that I'm saving, I will just color this in. So normally I would try to plan a bit better for trips, but this was super last minute. I found out like 4 weeks ago, maybe, that I was going. So I've been kind of scrambling to figure everything out. And so I have already been working on some of the savings over the last few weeks. And so I'll be able to start coloring this in immediately. And realistically, I know I'm not going to spend anywhere near this much money during my month there, but I do like to have a little cushion just in case something unexpected comes up. So this is my goal, this is what I'm working towards, and I just wanted to make sure I had it kind of right there for me to see my progress, because it will keep me motivated and keep me on track, I guess, to make sure that I feel comfortable. Okay, and I feel like that is pretty much everything. I'll probably go in and just add a few more stickers for like birthdays or my flight information, little reminders like that. And of course, baseball games for my nephews and my niece. But other than that, I think that's about it, and I'm happy with this. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, I really appreciate you. You are all so wonderful. And be sure to stay tuned for the next couple of videos, as I will be sharing my weekly and daily plan with me setups for July. And who knows, maybe I'll share a little bit about my travel if any of you guys are interested. So that is all, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!